What's good? Back again with another reaction to this video. You know what I'm saying? RP Young Scooter. RP Young Scooter. This is the shocking unaliving of Young Scooter. He got unalived on his birthday, 39th birthday, you know what I'm saying? Or 40th, one of those two. Hey, rest in peace though, bro. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get your ready. I know your side piece is on their way. You already text her saying you got the blunt roll, so she's on her way like a monster, and you know what I'm saying? And some snacks from the gas station, Circle K or Quick Stop or something, depending on what region you're at. Bucky's if you're on the East Coast. But you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and get into this video. Shout out to Hip Hop Daily, the original video, link in the description like always. Let's get into this video. Let's check it out. Let's see what's
Young
up.
Scooter died on his 39th birthday, and rumors are flying that he got into a shootout with the cops. But the real story is even crazier than that. And today we're breaking the whole thing down.
Damn.
On March 28th, 2025, the news broke that Young Scooter had been killed on his 39th birthday. At first, nobody knew what went down, but then stories started coming out that Young Scooter got shot by the police. According to early reports, Young Scooter and another dude were putting hands on a woman. Then Young Scooter and the other guy took off running, and Young Scooter ended up getting shot. People were saying that Young Scooter had died from a leg injury, and at first it looked like he got shot in the leg and bled out while he was running from the cops. People on social media started dissing Young Scooter for crashing out when he was almost 40 years old. Some people were even claiming that Young Scooter had used a woman as a human shield when the cops started shooting. Nobody knew how it really went down though.
See, this is why you can't really speak before you know what the facts are, bro, because once you start speaking on something that you don't know nothing about, and then the facts come out later on disproving what you thought you knew, like you just look dumb at the end of the day. So that's why sometimes you just gotta wait and see and gauge, you know what I'm saying, see how everything goes. But yeah, I heard that it was a leg puncture, that they tried to play it off as he was hopping the fence and punctured his leg, and I guess it went just deep enough to where it got his nerve, or he bled out basically. But that's crazy. That's like a 1 in a trillion chance, you know what I'm saying?
And the true story is even crazier than getting into a shootout with the cops. A woman called 911 and said she was neighborhood watch. She told the cops that she saw a naked woman running down the street and that there was a dude chasing her down. According to the 911 caller, the woman was bleeding all over the place and got dragged inside of a house. She also said 3 gunshots went off, and there were 7 dudes living inside the crib who dealt drugs and had guns. The woman on the 911 call said she saw one of the dudes beating the woman up and told them that if they didn't come to the crib fast, then something bad was gonna happen. The cops rode up to the scene expecting to find a bunch of armed dudes holding the woman hostage, but that's not how it went down. Young Scooter and one other dude were the only people in the crib, but they slammed the door in the cops' faces and took off running. The other dude ended up coming back to the crib and was questioned by the police, but Young Scooter hopped 2 fences and tried to do the race. It's not clear exactly what happened, but while Young Scooter was running, he ended up stabbing his own leg on one of the fences. The cops found Young Scooter laying on the ground and tried to stop the bleeding. If you cut the artery in your leg, you can bleed out in just a few minutes though, and Young Scooter was tragically pronounced dead at the hospital. All kinds of rumors are flying after the news broke that Young Scooter died, and it turns out that the 911 call was all made up by a woman named Demetria Spence.
That's all I was gonna say, because it didn't sit right when they said I was gonna say the pigs, but the cops pulled up, and they're off the facts of her saying, first of all, she looks like a junkie. I ain't gonna lie, bro. She looks like she's one of the top customers, you know what I'm saying, from that trap house. But from the lies that she said, there's 7 dudes with straps and burners, and they're, you know what I'm saying, it just didn't make sense when they said that the cops pulled up and those only 2 dudes. A lot of it seems fishy, bro. Homegirl, junkie.
Demetria Spence, aka Demi Blanco, is a woman who used to be on the show called Baddies.
Ain't no way that's her, bro.
And it turns out that the 911 call
Bro, this is why I can't trust females who wear like crazy makeup, because I thought this was a junkie, bro. Damn. This is like someone who's in their mid-40s, used to kick it with my mom back in the day, back in like the early 2000s, late 90s, bro. This is like, you know what I'm saying? That Pookie. But look, this is her now.
was all made up by a woman named Demetria Spence. Demetria Spence.
Bro, that does not look like her, bro. Oh my God, what money could do to you, right? That's
aka
crazy.
Demi Blanco, is a woman who used to be on the show called Baddies. It's not clear how she was involved with young Scooter, but she's the one who allegedly got him killed. Demi Blanco would use an SOS phone when she called 911 and made up the story about a woman being kidnapped and beaten up. Basically, that means that the phone wasn't connected to a network, but it could still make emergency calls to 911. The cops couldn't even track the phone down after Demi Blanco made the call since it wasn't connected to a network, so they released some of the 911 audio and asked people to help identify the caller's voice. The cops didn't even need to do any work to track her down though, because Demi Blanco went live on IG and admitted she was the one who made the call. And during the live session, Demi Blanco changed up her story completely. Demi Blanco claimed that she made the 911 call because she had been physically abused multiple times and said that she wasn't trying to set young Scooter up. According to her, she made the call to protect herself because she was the one being abused.
I'm giving you part B. I'm giving you what led up to the call. I was physically abused, so I called to protect myself. That's the issue.
Demi Blanco's story didn't make any sense though, because if she was actually
that's the issue.
Demi Blanco,
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was reading the chat saying she needs to be sued for that. She needs to be sued for lying, for wearing all that makeup and looking like this underneath. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
The story didn't make any sense though, because if she was actually being abused, then she could have told the cops the truth instead of making up a crazy story about a situation that never happened. And after the IG live session, the cops booked Demi Blanco for making a false 911 report. Nobody knows why young Scooter ran from the police, but they never would have been at the crib if Demi Blanco didn't make the fake 911 call. And now the rap game's lost another artist over nothing. Playboy Cardi, 03 Greedo, and way more people in the rap game hopped on social media to show him love. Young Scooter's family also put out a statement and talks about how much work young Scooter had been doing to help other people. They say young Scooter was a great father to his kids and was helping other kids in Atlanta stay out of the streets too. Young Scooter and Future have been homies since back in the day. And Young Scooter was one of the first dudes that Future signed to his label. After Young Scooter died, Future shouted him out on Twitter. But Young Scooter's other homie thinks there's more to the story. Young Scooter was also tied with Young Thug, and Thug thinks the cops killed Scooter. Early rumors said that the cops started.
I did see that too on Instagram. Young Thug is alleging that Scooter got dumped at by the police.
Shooting at Young Scooter after he took off running. But later the police said that none of the cops at the scene used their guns. Young Thug isn't buying the story though, and he allegedly claims that Young Scooter got shot and the district attorney's office is trying to cover it up. After the cops claimed that they didn't shoot their guns when they pulled up on Young Scooter and his homie, Young Thug posted a photo of a gang investigator in Atlanta named Marissa Viverito and called her the biggest liar in the DA office. Thug already had issues with Marissa Viverito because she was involved with the YSL Rico trial. When Thug got arrested, the cops raided his crib and allegedly stole one of Thug's Richard Mille watches. Yak Gotti's lawyer showed a video in court where Viverito was holding the watch inside Thug's crib, and that was the last time anyone saw it. After Thug called Viverito out on Twitter, rumors are going around that she was involved with the Young Scooter situation and was trying to cover up a shooting. It's not clear if Viverito is tied to the Young Scooter case at all though, and Thug might have been sending shots at her because of Lil Baby. A couple days before Thug dissed Viverito, reports came out that Viverito had been in court for a hearing about Lil Baby's 4PF crew. According to the cops, Lil Baby and his crew shot a music video in their ops hood, and 2 teenagers ended up dying because of it. Viverito might be involved with that.
So that's crazy. It could be a case of like the DA trying to get rid of the big ones out there in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, I don't know how it is, but the way it looks like from the outside looking in, it kind of looks like the Atlanta biggest artists are getting targeted by the government. That's just what it looks like from an individual sitting on the sidelines. You know what I'm saying? I don't know none. This is just speculations, entertainment purposes only. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Go on, just continue on with the story.
Case. So Thug might have been calling her out about that situation instead of Young Scooter's death. There's still a lot of questions about what happened to Young Scooter, but his death is a big loss for Atlanta. Young Scooter was born in South Carolina, but his family moved to Atlanta when he was 9 years old. Young Scooter met Future and got tied with him when they were young, but Scooter got active in the trenches way before he started making music. Then in 2008, Young Scooter got booked on drug charges and realized he needed to switch things up. He came home and jumped in the booth, and Young Scooter got a lot of buzz when he linked up with Future. In 2013, Young Scooter got featured on XXL's list of best mixtapes, and not before long, he was linking up with huge rappers like Young Thug and Gucci Mane. Young Scooter still had one foot in the streets though, and in 2013, he got pulled over and was arrested for violating his probation. Young Scooter had been driving around without a license, so a judge sent him to jail for 249 days. Gucci Mane was locked up at the same time, and Young Scooter ended up being Gucci's cellmate. Young Scooter knew he didn't want to keep going back to jail though, and he stayed out of trouble with the cops after he came home in October 2013.
Yeah.
Rumors said that young Scooter never really left the streets, but there's no proof he was still active. Young Scooter never hit the mainstream like his homies Future and Young Thug, but he was always dropping new projects and running up decent numbers. Right now, it looks like Demi Blanco is the reason that Young Scooter died. She made up a crazy story for the cops and made him show up where Young Scooter was at, and that's what sparked the whole situation. Nobody knows why Young Scooter ran off like that, but plenty of people are afraid of the police, and just because you run from them doesn't mean you were doing something wrong before they showed up. We don't know the whole story yet, but it's already a tragic situation.
Yeah, that's crazy. As more gets released, we gonna find out, and we gonna do more reactions. And you know what I'm saying. But anyways, that's crazy. It sucks that for one phone call could lead to the life. The one phone call, one simple action could lead to the loss of life of someone else. Fortunately, it was Young Scooter. Rest in peace to him. My condolences to his fans, his family, the people who cared about him. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all for watching to the end. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about this one. Comments below. I know you're already lit. You know what I'm saying? I know you're already down to the roach party. You about to roach it. Go upstairs with your little side thing. You know what I'm saying? With that, we're going to go ahead and let y'all go. Let you do your thing. You know what I'm saying? All right, gang. We out.